Welcome to Ask Sean, where I explore all sorts of questions about life, relationships, and being human. I'm Sean Slevin, a licensed professional counselor and a licensed marriage and family therapist. And if you have an anonymous question you'd like to send me, you can go to www.asksean.org. So in this video, I'm going to be exploring a portion of a recent interview segment, where I am engaging with the question of kind of just advice for people getting married, and with that, thinking about premarital counseling, kind of the role that can play, the ways that can be useful. Though certainly it's not a magic fix, and it is not actually about somehow making then the relationship conflict free. But yeah, just kind of talking about the role of that, and and just kind of some other thoughts for those who are getting married. So enjoy. I think the first thought is, go ahead and get a good therapist. I think that's really honestly the best thing about premarital isn't so much, the things you cover in premarital, though there's usefulness in that, and maybe I'll say a few things about that. But the better, benefit of it is it gets you a little bit comfortable with being in therapy. And because relationships are wonderfully hard. And as amazing as your partner might seem to you right now, once you've been with them long enough, you'll be like, you're a human being. This isn't what I agreed to. No, I thought you're gonna be a certain way, and now you're doing this thing that I hate. And how could you do that? I thought you loved me. And and that's, that freaks us out, as that starts to happen. And so we need support. We need support to help sort that out. And we need support to kind of sort out, what is this revealing about ourselves? Which is the thing that we never want to hear, most couples coming into therapy, they, at least one, if not both of the partners is like, well, I'm really hoping you're going to fix my partner. And it's like, well, tell me about what's, stressing you out there, and really where I start to go is, seems like there's some work you need to do too. And here's the tricky thing is is helping to sort of, when I'm doing that, take out the shame, because part of why we want it to be the other person's fault is because it's we don't want it to be our fault. But really, it's both our faults, because we're both human and we both don't know what we're doing, no matter how prepared we are, no matter how much premarital you've had, no matter how much therapy you've had, you still haven't done life with this person. You still haven't had whatever the new things are about yourself that are being revealed. You haven't had that experience yet, or to this degree, or to this intensity. And so you need help with that, And so, so I do think it's worthwhile to do premarital. I think, for the benefit I already said, and that it sets the stage for, gets you comfortable, gets you in the door for therapy. And then part of at least how I approach premarital is, I'm thinking about number one, I'm trying to stir the pot a little bit, pre-marriage. I'm trying to see, okay, where are areas that are already maybe starting to kind of get a little shaky, where we could actually do some work, that'd be cool, right? We don't have to wait until after the wedding to start doing work. But a lot of times if folks are super into their fantasies of each other, there's not a whole lot of deep work we can do yet, because it's just everything's amazing. It's okay, well, that's cool. It won't always feel that way. I don't mean that in a pessimistic way, but just the illusion will fade, right? And then you get a chance to actually know and love this person that you've committed to. And then, which is actually when it gets harder, but also can get so much better and richer. But yeah, I'm trying. I think premarital can stir the pot a little bit, and it also can set the stage for later work. It can be, sometimes there'll be things I'll be I know you're not having conflict about this right now, but you might later, because your personality mixes are different in these ways, and these attributes that you absolutely love about one another typically will become annoying later. And so it's I'm trying to plant those seeds so that it's a little less disruptive, because again, when fantasies collapse, we can just be oh my gosh, what does this mean? I've made a mistake. I gotta get out. It's no, you probably made the right choice. The fact that it's getting hard, doesn't mean that, it was a bad choice. Now, obviously, I'm not trying to, there's exceptions to that, if things are getting abusive and super toxic and whatnot. Even there, that doesn't mean that it can't work out in the long run. It might mean you guys need some space, like if it's getting really, really bad, it might mean there's a lot of intense work that you both have to do. So I'm not trying to like gloss over those really hard types of things, really ugly things, but yeah, I mean I guess one way of summing all this up, in terms of advice to people who are getting married is be paying attention to your own insides. Like what, even as you're getting, as you're going through the process of wedding planning, be trying to notice like where do I avoid hard things? What are the conversations that I like put off having? What are the ways in which I, just kind of go along with something? What are the ways in which I have a super strong response because, maybe I can't tolerate a certain feeling, So yeah, I would invite folks to try to start to get curious about those things that they aren't wanting to know about themselves. As much as they can bear, like we do it in bites. But the thing is, whatever you don't do now, it'll be waiting for you later. So, you keep getting chances.